Good evening, everyone. This is Black and Indigenous American. I hope all is well with you guys. June the 14th, Friday. Eastern time is about 6:41 p.m. And yeah. Oh my goodness. I am going to read a little bit of my journal. I told you guys that I was journaling, writing out what I expect in my life as if it has already been done, right? Also, this is the cute box I got from that crystal shop in New Orleans. Earth Odyssey, that's the name of it. Anyway, inside this crystal box, or this jewelry box, is my pendulum. And I have yet to get it to work for me. I mean, I read up and I listened to some videos on how to program it and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I do like this and just kind of hold my arm so my arm doesn't shake, and then I ask it, what is yes? You know, tell me yes or show me yes. So I don't know if it's like going clockwise or if it's just going side to side. So I will get more into this in a few minutes. But first I wanted to focus on the journaling. So I was just going to read to you guys. And thanks for watching, whoever is watching right now. I was going to read, guys, what I've written. I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to read the first few pages when I first got this journal. So I don't know if that's going to come back to you guys backwards, but what I did was I wrote, "So shall it be," in the inside of the journal. That's just something I thought of doing. No one told me to do that. And also I wrote this or better, and I have $111 billion. Manifesto. So anyway, what I learned to do with journaling is that when you start to journal, you write a date, and the date is actually in the future. So the date that I wrote was August the 5th, 2019. So obviously that's not too far from now. But I think when I wrote this first journal, the first journal inside this journal, I feel like this was back in April. I think it was back in April when I started to write. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and write. Just so you know, this is not proper grammar. It's just scribbling whatever comes off the top of my head that I am expecting in my life in the future. So again, the wording, the sentence structure and everything is probably going to be way off. But anyway, this is just an example of how I've been journaling thus far. And I don't necessarily journal every single day. On average, it's probably 2 to 3 times a week, just so you know. So again, I wrote August the 5th, 2019. Okay. I said, "Thank you, highest divinity, for your guidance and unconditional love. Thank you for my spiritual team, empowerment, and financial freedom. Lord knows the lottery jackpot is amazing, yet I feel a bit worried, concerned, because I have to fight I have to figure out what steps to take to protect fortune as well as staying anonymous. Of course, fame is the last thing I've ever sought after in this life. All in all, I look forward to packing up my personal belongings at my workstation and leaving the access card before 7 a.m. FYI, I get to work at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. I choose to get there that early, but that's the time that I get to work. And then I put yes, exclamation point. I am, and what I'm doing, just so you guys know, is I'm actually living through all the details of what's going to happen as if it's already happened, and I'm jotting it down, like my feelings and things of that nature. So apparently the more specific you are as far as the feelings and how, all of that, you're better off when it comes to manifestation, right? So anyway, I says, I am walking into the office and doing the following. Number 1, removing all paper around and in my workstation. Number 2, putting that paper in the shred bin, because we have a shred bin. 3, trashing everything else in my cabinets, not personal items, but notes that I've been taking over the years for the job or whatever. All that's going to get tossed. Number 4, log into the computer and delete everything on my desktop and my personal Z drive. And if there's nothing on the computer or my personal drive that is character damaging or anything like that. But, a lot of my notes that I decided to make it more electronical than handwriting everything. A lot of my notes are on the personal drive. So that type of stuff is what I'm talking about. Number 5, leave all computer wires, keyboard, etc. in cabinets. And so I've gone through like 3 or 4 computers, and like every computer had a different wire. So you all get it when it comes to computers. So whenever you get something new, there's a plug or something that just is not compatible with that new computer. So I have all these wires in the cabinet, FYI. So I said, I'm going to leave them all there. Number 6, email my direct supervisor and HR about my departure and copy my former supervisor the same information. And then number 7, put the key card and keys to the cabinets in an envelope and place on my supervisor's desk. So FYI, this is not a 2 weeks notice. This is probably like a Monday morning before everybody gets there. I'm doing all of this because I want to be out of the office and everything's done before everyone gets in. That's pretty much what I'm describing. Number 8, walk out of the building feeling light and taller, thanking highest divinity the entire time, singing praises. Number 9, I open the car door of my Tesla vehicle, turn it on, and put my seatbelt on and back up. I park directly in front of the building. Okay, so when I first transferred to this particular location, when I first got there, I did the same thing. I backed up in front of the building, but I haven't parked there since because that's where visitors park. I park further away. So anyway, that's what I was thinking about. Number 10, then I put the car in drive and leave the parking lot, throwing the peace sign up in the air and not looking back, like literally not looking in my rearview mirror, like literally, peace, drive off, done. Number 11, in another 4 months, I will get in contact with, and this was a colleague of mine, and gift her with $1 million right around December 2019. Of course, it is up to her if she decides to stay at, and I name the employer, or retire, early retirement. 12, I bought my home in Tesla right before I released myself from working for, and then I named the employer. Yes. I bought a primary residence in, and this county that I'm mentioning is in the state of Virginia, and it's one of the most affluent counties in the nation. So I set out, my primary residence is about 11 acres of land. As you can tell, I'm using 11 a lot, all right? The $111 billion and the 11 acres, because I see those numbers all the time, and it's just, I see 1111 all day, every day, or either 111. So I just decided, okay, either 111 acres or 11 acres. Being that that county is very expensive to live in, I just said 11 acres because it's going to be premium property anyway. Gave to charity. Fully furnished home. The home is about 5,000 square feet, full of healing stones, right? Filter water system, solar powered, Zen decor, blessed by highest divinity, and protected by my spiritual team. Of course, I share my fortune with close loved ones and with Mr. He is so happy and secure. We are healthy, secure, and blessed, and eager to uplift others. I have manifested unlimited financial and time freedom. This is living. This is what life's made of. And then I list the homes, like the locations I want in my homes, where I'm going to. I have my homes, right? County in Northern Virginia, Howard County or Anne Arundel County in Maryland, because those are the two top counties in the state of Maryland as far as, school safety and all that. Then I mentioned McLean, Virginia, which is near American University. That side of Virginia is pretty much, you just cross over the Potomac and you're in DC. And it's very, how should I put this? I'm sure a lot of the powerful people and politicians and people in power live right in that little area. And then I said the next home will be a log cabin near where I'm from, Southern Virginia. But it'll be on the property where my indigenous people lived. Even though I live in the same town as where they historically resided, but I don't necessarily live. Let me see, how should I put this? My house that I grew up in, my dad's house, is a good 5 miles from the location that my Okinichi ancestors lived, because they lived on like a, I guess you can call a little island in the middle of the lake. But I definitely want to get a log cabin there overlooking the lake. Number 5, I mentioned Outer Banks, Airbnb on a ridge on Cape Hatteras Island. There's this house called Safari House in a village near Hatteras, Cape Hatteras. And every time I go down to Outer Banks, I always see this house. It's kind of hidden, but when you drive by, you can glance at it, and within a couple of seconds, and then you have, you can't see it anymore. But it's actually on a ridge, which is higher elevation, and they don't get as much flooding, if any, whenever there's a strong storm or hurricane that comes into the area. And this house is, pretty much just overlooking the Pamlico Sound. And then 6, I said, I have a home in Chapel Hill, because I'm a North Carolina girl too. Okay. Even though I was born and raised in Southern Virginia, North Carolina is home to me because, number 1, my church home was in North Carolina. My dad's people are from North Carolina, and my sisters live in North Carolina. My mom used to live in North Carolina, and I spent summers, weekends, holidays in North Carolina. So North Carolina is home. So that's why I mentioned Chapel Hill. I like Chapel Hill. I love that region of North Carolina when it comes to progressiveness. Also, I will have a home on the Big Island of Hawaii, probably near Hilo. And then I'll have a home in Albuquerque. So Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I'll have investment properties. And the investment properties I listed are office space, community developer. I'll have hotels that cater to vegans, vegetarians, people who are gluten sensitive, people who desire to eat organic, fresh foods. This hotel or bed and breakfast or what have you, that will be pretty much the thing when it comes to cuisine. It's definitely going to be vegan, vegetarian, all this, because I know whenever I go anywhere, I feel like I have to like plot and plan what I'm going to eat on the road and have something like backup, like trail mix or something, just in case, you know, there's no places around. The only thing they sell is a salad, and the salad is not up to par. Let's just put it that way. So I know I'm not the only person out there that really seek out clean eating, clean food. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to get down and eat and stuff is full of calories or whatever, you can do that. But at the same time, you can also eat clean and eat all those calories too, right? So I'm not saying that this is for people who want to lose weight type hotel, but you have options. You have options. So I feel like if, you know, the hotel or bed and breakfast or what have you that is in my journal, this hotel would be pretty much 5-star. And like I said, it will cater to vegans and vegetarians and people with food allergies or whatever, right? There's no questions asked. And the bedding and sheets and all that will be from fabric that is not necessarily fabric that's not necessarily going to cost the environment, the health of the environment. So, I don't know, hemp. You can use hemp for almost anything, to be honest with you. And for whatever reason, there's many states out there that are really giving some of the health conscious people who want to farm and produce hemp and all that, they're giving them a difficult time because they claim it's part of the marijuana family, and they claim that marijuana is the devil, and if you use marijuana, you're going to die and go to hell. I mean, you just have a lot of people who are so brainwashed. But anyway, and then vacation rentals. The premium locations, I have rentals there for people to rent out, and apartment buildings too. And then I'll invest in real estate without holding on to property. So you have you can invest in real estate without actually owning, like having to deal with the maintenance and everything like that. Like flipping houses, you don't have to do that. You can actually invest in like a real estate stock or whatever. As far as giving back, because that's always relevant, that's always important. Giving back, I said I grew up pretty much in a trailer park. Well, the first half of my life, I was in a trailer park, living with my mother. The second half of my life, I was living with my dad in a decent house. So when I put down as far as giving back, I said, buy the trailer park, and then I named the name of the area. And then I said, and built a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,700 square foot homes on about a quarter of an acre. So instead of people having trailers, the houses will pretty much be a decent house for each family. Again, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and they get an acre of land. I mean, not an acre, sorry, a quarter of an acre of land. I want to make sure, to create a community garden. Number 3, an on-site resource center. Number 4, create environmental friendly factor. Work on the, create an environmental friendly factory and create work for people. Because, okay, there was a factory in the town that I grew up in. And long story short, the factory closed down. A lot of people lost jobs. So many people are not creative when it comes to finding other ways to make money outside of doing illegal stuff. So a lot of people kind of went down financially because the factory work was no longer there. That location is still there. There's not a building there. They tore it down. You have all of this space that's not being utilized. And I figure, okay, I'll buy that property and I create a solar panel factory or something like that, to create jobs. That's what I want to do, create jobs, create a sense of pride in a lot of people who may not necessarily continue to go to school or whatever like that. Maybe that's not in their cards, And so I wanted to make sure that those who, they're just, they're not going to create jobs. So I'm trying to create jobs for those type of people. And that's pretty much part of my history as well. Like, I am a product of a family that worked in factories, either the factory work or they were sharecroppers. Okay. So there aren't that many opportunities in my little small town that I grew up in. So I want to at least, if creating a factory that's environmentally friendly. So solar panels, there you go. Or building windmills or something, I want to make sure there's an on-site daycare in the community and at the solar panel site. So for those who, living in an area where there's no public transit is very, very difficult for people who can't afford a car living in a rural country area. So, having a daycare on site, having that would be helpful for a lot of people. Hire lawyers and genealogists for my tribe. That's a big one. That is a big one. And a lot of people, they don't have the dividends or the extra money to do all of that stuff outside of living in this colonized environment. Everyone has their own house. Everyone has their own cars if they can afford it. And so it's less communal, So a lot of people just, they separated from their community. They moved away for jobs. The ones that stayed behind, they financially struggling. So who has the money to hire lawyers and genealogists? I mean, I dibble and dabbled over the years in genealogy. I've done research. I've gotten an account with Ancestry.com, and I've, built my family tree and all that. That's a lot of time, and that's a lot of patience, and that's a lot of, I would say, money if you were to travel to find all these documents that are not available yet online. So just hire somebody that's an expert, and let them just go at it. Hire lawyers, let them figure out all the legal work and stuff like that. Number 7, create something in my hometown and the county next to my county I grew up in that's similar to Jamestown. So revive the indigenous culture, language, create tourism and all that stuff like that. Because one thing about Jamestown now, they have, it's like a reenacting type thing. You have a fort, you have like the indigenous village and all that. And again, this is in Williamsburg, Jamestown, Yorktown area of Virginia. So you do have people who are dressed up and then they're reenactors and stuff like that. And so I feel like, you know what, that could definitely be something to have at the original site where my indigenous people stayed for a minute before they went back to my county where I'm from. And then they dispersed, and some went to North Carolina, some went to South Carolina, some went to Ohio, some went to New York State. You know, I don't know if any stayed in Pennsylvania, but I'm sure they went through Pennsylvania and get to New York State, right? And then Canada. So I wanted to just kind of have something there. Again, a sense of pride. Like, okay, yeah, there's Jamestown, but guess what? There's history in this county. And all of these state recognized tribes, right? A lot of them link back to that location. And there's documents of that location. And so I would like to have something set up where we would have our people being very much involved in all of that. So that's another thing that I wanted to do. Also, it would help the local economy. Like, a lot of people flock to Williamsburg and, you know, Jamestown and all that. And I'm like, okay, there's a lot more history than just Jamestown, right? So, yeah, helping the local economy. And then I said, give financial assistance to loved ones. And I list all of my loved ones and friends and family that I would want to financially assist. I said what I'm doing first after releasing myself from, and then I named the employer. I said pay off student loan, pretty much pay off loans, donate the car to charity or somebody who's in need, detox and spiritual cleanse my aura. Okay, this is a big one too. And this is a pet peeve of mine too. I so much want to get so proactive when it comes to my health. I want to be able to take all of the wasted money and premium with healthcare and use that money to pay for alternative medicine, alternative ways of preventive care, right? And a lot of the ways like detoxing and cleansing and all of this stuff, if you go to, you know, a certified person or whatever like that, it costs money. And most of the time, all of the alternative preventive care is not taken seriously when it comes to insurance. So a lot of that money is upfront cash. So money ain't a thing. In my journal, I said I'll be detoxing and spiritual cleansing in my aura and blah, 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 because it doesn't matter. I have the money. I have the moolah. I have the cash to do all of this stuff that I want to do. Have time freedom and financial freedom and everything like that. But again, detoxing is another thing that I have in my journal. I said vacation for 2 months in a peaceful place. Wherever that is, vacationing. I don't know nothing. I don't know nobody. I can vacation for 2 months. Volunteer for causes that pertain to injustices. And at my core, whenever there's some kind of injustice going on, it hits home. And whenever I'm doing something as far as activism or whatever, usually like in the DC area, is something going on that there's an injustice, I usually show up. And so, you know, I would definitely be volunteering for these causes, you know, being a supporter of those who have been victims of injustices. And so that's another thing. Then I said before loved ones receive money, they are obligated to complete a money management course and workshop. And I'm serious about that. I'm so serious about that. And I'm thinking of all the loved ones that I know would definitely benefit from a money management course. I have a relative who, when she turned 18, her grandmother, who had passed before that, left her money. And everybody knew that she was going to get money. And it wasn't a lot of money, but that money would have been a great start for someone who's just getting out in the world or going to school, needing money for books or whatever like that. Anyway, that money was gone within 6 months. 6 months. Yes. And this relative wanted to help everybody that she felt helped her when she was growing up. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it was like everybody was trying to get money out of her. And I feel like, okay, before you get cha-ching from me, you're going to take money management classes and you're going to pass it. Before you get anything from me financially, you're going to have to understand how to manage your money. And I feel like if people knew that within my intermediate family, folks wouldn't be living in a trailer park. Right? A lot of mismanagement of money. If they're 18 years old, they either go to school or they turn 21 and older. That's when they'll get their money. But again, they have to still pass the money management workshop. Anybody under 18 will get a trust fund. So mommy and daddy don't go in and spend all their money before they even turn 7 years old. And then when they turn 18, they don't have no money because mama and daddy spent it on stupid stuff. Trust fund. And then I said, peace, exclamation point. I didn't realize I wrote this much on that first time of journaling. But anyway, I said, these are affirmations. I am abundant life. I am holistic health. I am empowerment. I am love, peace, and happiness. I am boss. I am winner. I am financial freedom. I am highest self. I am sexual healing. I am motherhood. I am lottery jackpot winner. All is well, it is done, so shall it be, baby. And then I'm going to add this. So it is. He, he, he. And that's it. And that was the first evening that I started jotting down in this journal. So that's what you call journaling. And some of the stuff that I wrote in my journal was about my trip to New Orleans before I went to New Orleans. And yeah. Oh, I went all out. Like some of this stuff in here, I went all out. Yeah. So anyway, I will save you the boredom of that. Next part of this video, which is probably going to be nice and sweet and to the point, is again the pendulum. Trying to figure out how to use it properly. Now, like I said, I was supposed to cleanse it, and I did with sage. Also, when I was doing yoga the other day, I held, well, it's green in color. The chakra for green is the heart chakra. So when I was meditating, I laid it on my chest, where your heart or whatever, not your literal heart, but you know what I mean. And then I set the intentions for this pendulum. that it will be a tool that will assist me in uh, anything that's anything that has anything to do with high vibrational energy. I give it permission, right? And I also ask my spiritual team to secure my aura from low vibrational energy. And I know this pendulum is for yes or no answers, or yes or no questions, I should say. And I know some people use the pendulum with a board or whatever, and they'll, ask questions to help spell out stuff and all of that. But as of right now, I'm not using a board. I'm not a fan of boards when it comes to this type of stuff, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, so I'm going to try again while I am filming live to see if this thing will show me the yes, no, and maybe. Show me yes. See, I don't know if that's me moving or is actually moving on its own. Yeah, I don't know. I've been playing with this thing off and on, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let me bring this down some. So this time we're just going to hold my arm. And for those out there who are very comfortable with pendulums and know how it works and everything, please let me know what is it that I'm doing. So show me yes. And again, I don't know if that's me moving. You know what I mean? Okay, let me put my. See, that's the thing. I have to come back some. I don't know if it's me or if this thing is actually moving on its own. Okay, let me hold my arm like this. Let's see. Try to get it from moving. Show me yes. Show me no. Show me maybe. Show me I don't know. See, unless maybe I'm just not patient enough, but it does not look like it's doing anything unless I'm moving, and I'm trying not to move. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm doing that's not working, or I don't know if me programming it has blocked any kind of communication with this thing. You know, because I am wearing stones for all kinds of things. I don't know if this hematite or this labradorite, these earrings, and then I got, you know, I have crystals in my bra for protection. I don't know if this is blocking any kind of usage of this. And the stone, I believe, that's in here, like I mentioned before, is peridot, peridot, peridot. So I don't know, because it's just not moving, and I'm trying to program it so if I have questions and I test it to see if it's giving me a yes or no answer, and I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. So anybody out there who has a pendulum and is working for them and they know what they're doing, I will appreciate some advice, because I've looked at videos and people doing and everything, and some of these people are very experienced in their spiritual walk, you know, outside of, you know, I would say Christianity, but outside of any major religion. And it's just going to town with them, moving and shaking and stuff. And I'm like, maybe the pendulum is not a tool that, you know, is ideal for me. I kind of was hoping it was, because it's cute and pretty and simple. But yeah, I'm going to give it a go probably next week and maybe try again in a month. But after that, then I don't know. Yeah, I everything is not for everybody. Let's just put it that way. And maybe that pendulum was not for me. Maybe the pendulum, I need another stone, or maybe the pendulum itself is just not, it's not part of my spiritual walk, and it's not meant for me to utilize, because apparently it works for other people, but for me, not so much. And again, I don't know if it has something to do with the stones that I'm wearing. So anybody out there that is very experienced with pendulums, I would appreciate some advice. Anyway, it's a quiet evening. No one's watching, no one's commenting at this point. So I'm going to end it here. But thank you so much for those who will eventually watch, and those who were watching me live for a minute. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and take care. Be blessed. Be a blessing to others. And until next time, toodles. Take care. Bye-bye for now.